All right, fellas, got a real freaking treat for you today. Something new and revolutionary and a little scientific for all the analytical geeks. So, what you see here is the first time I attempted a weighted wall sit. Okay, you can see I grabbed the biggest dumbbells at the freaking local Crunch, okay? 125s. Not too shabby, but due to the suggestions, everyone's feedback, we came up with the grandiosest of freaking solutions here. The behind the back weighted wall sit. And I know what some of you are thinking, saying, well, Eric, you can just hold 10,000 pounds on your knees. But if you have all the weight close to your freaking knees, again, the leverage is not proper. You know what I'm saying? You could put 10,000 pounds on top of your knees and your legs would be doing zero additional work. Whereas holding it with this leverage, fellas, is freaking peak torque. Do you understand what I'm saying? 365 pounds. By the way, I just want to highlight, look at this. This could be a new deadlift variation. The freaking 90-degree wall sit deadlift. I think there's honestly something to this. The static, the isometric quadriceps tension with the freaking posterior chain, you know what I'm saying? So check this out, fellas, 365 pounds. And this is a giant horse load for freaking strengthening your grip, too. I just got a double overhand grip on this sucker. Okay, so I mean, we're nailing two birds at the same time. You get what I'm saying here, boys? I mean, fellas, this was freaking peak tension. This felt great. And I'm excited to keep doing this, incorporating this into my freaking routine. You know, shooting upwards of 500 pounds. I think it's possible, maybe even 600. Fellas, check this out here. I found this old 20-year-old article from Christian Thibodeau, freaking French strength coach, one of my favorite strength coaches here. First talking point I want to highlight here is that he's pointing out that the isometrics are most beneficial due to the fact that they lead to the highest levels of activation possible in terms of motor unit recruitment. Okay, so freaking analytical science-based geeks, when comparing concentric to eccentric to isometric, the isometric recruited the most freaking motor units and muscle fibers, fellas. Well, what exactly does this mean? This means that doing isometrics in the long run improves to greater neural drive, which then leads to, you know, more improvements in overall strength production and power. You get what I'm saying? So incorporating these isometrics into your training is just only going to lead to more freaking strength, okay? And then there's this 2002 study that he's citing that in fact they do lead to size gains as well when a maximal isometric contraction is done, okay? And the fact is that the old studies that everyone refers to that say they lead to no gains is only because these old models that they're looking at only had very short duration, 6 seconds of freaking intensity, okay? Which is like the equivalent of 1 to 5 reps, which of course, as we know, is great for the freaking strength gains, but not anywhere near like the 8 to 12 reps, which would be more like 20 to 60 seconds in isometrics, okay? So there's freaking proof in the pudding for the science-based geeks. The proof is there. They do lead to size when the duration is long enough, and they lead to freaking great neural output strength, okay? So look at this. This was the day I did the first wall sit, fellas, weighted wall sit. These are the 125s that I did for, I believe, 3 reps per leg. Not shabby, you know. Lunging's always been the hardest thing since I had patellar tendon reconstruction. But this was, I believe, day 3 now after incorporating weighted wall sits, fellas, okay? Freaking day 3, fellas. Now, I know this is comparing apples to oranges. We did the walking dumbbell lunges, but I couldn't go any heavier with the weight, so I had to do, in a rack, I had to do the reverse lunge. And fellas, I was only expecting to get 1, and then as I was going for the set, I'm like, all right, let's get a couple reps here. And fellas, I was blown away by how easy this was. Watch this freaking set. You can see there's really not any real true grinders here. Every rep was pretty darn smooth. And fellas, I swear on my life that it's mainly because of the weighted freaking wall sits, the isometrics. It strengthens me in this joint angle, that 90-degree joint angle. That's perfect for that lunging position with that front foot, that front lead leg, for that quadricep, that knee angle. You get what I'm saying, boys? Like, the proof is in the freaking pudding.